everyone, welcome to the next video from this series of 9 flower circles from Wonderful Wildflowers by Johanna Basford. We have a set of 3 to do down here. Now before I zoom in, now with these 2 sets of 3s I used 3 slightly different shades of colour. So we had a light, a mid and a dark orange and a light, mid, dark pink. We've got sets of 3 all the way across here. I don't think I'm going to do the same thing for all of these, just because, whoops, it's nice to do something a little bit different. I haven't tried to have any sort of matching ideas or anything like that within this page. So just coming in a tad closer. Oh, just need to tuck my book underneath my pencil tin a little bit. There we go. You can see I've been colouring a bit on the facing page. I was playing with that yesterday. I'll probably finish that today. Now, what colour should we do? Well, these look a little bit like anemones to me, and so I'm going to colour them like that, and why not? I know Johanna doesn't make flowers that look real. Now, anemones have a black bit around them here, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is Polychromos that I'm using again. But I'm not going to colour this whole, but I'm going to go around the edge. Can you see? Just a nice deep dark black edge of this bit here, because I'm going to have a little bit of a play with how it looks. And then around the inside, like that. And what I want to do now is to slightly fade my black from here to the centre and from here to the centre, so that I get, hopefully, it looks a bit different. So we've got a really light bit in the centre, and it will hopefully just give this a bit of depth, so it looks like it's standing up off the page rather than just flat. I'm just going to add a few more strokes of black here and there to try to just really emphasise that. Now anemones don't look like this, but it's a loosely based on, and it's a bit of fun. It just shows you a different thing that you can do. Now the centres of our flowers are going to stay white, so that's a bit of a challenge for me because I don't normally do very much white. But I probably put, oh, there you got an itch. I'll probably put a little bit of white pencil in there just to make it look slightly different from the paper, which is slightly ivory coloured, I think. So yeah, apparently Johanna is going to be announcing today. Now I say today because today for me, not today for you, when she's going to do some sort of content with the book, which is exciting. I love hearing Johanna speak. She's just such an absolutely lovely person. She always just so positive and lovely, just loving, and you know, I think it's really, really nice to just hear her. Even if she's colouring a page that I don't yet want to colour, or I've already coloured, or whatever, that doesn't worry me. Just listening to her chatter and talk about the book and things is going to be really lovely. Now she, I have seen quite a bit of criticism for the book. It's quite interesting. This one more than any others. Now, I know people obviously are completely entitled to their own opinion, and I can quite understand the comments that are coming through. Some people are saying it's too much the same as what we've had before. A lot of people said that with Magical Worlds as well, and I could see that it was quite like Worlds of Wonder, had similar ideas in there. And so I could see they were similar, but because Worlds of Wonder is one of my favourite Johanna books, and having one that was similar I felt was fantastic. But obviously if you didn't like that other book, then we're going to put some white in, like I said, then you know, it wouldn't be for you. And the same with this one. Some people just say there's too many flowers, they're not into colouring flowers. That's absolutely fair. You know, some people like colouring people, buildings, food, or whatever, clothes, rooms, I don't know, lots of different things. All I've achieved there is smudging a bit of black into the middle. Yay me. My first flower is going to be red. I want quite an intense red, so I'm going to use the deep red. It's quite a dark one. Okay, going to use it on this one. So yes, so that's quite interesting that there seems to be also people, saying it's too samey, too similar. They don't want to, and there's too much white space. That was another criticism, which is why I've already done a video showing how to use some of that white space. I did something, but I also talked a lot about what other ideas I had that you could do to use that particular space on that particular page. You know, I think, crikey, if you're really crafty, you could get out some stickers, some decoupage, use some washi tapes, some, I don't know, I'm not crafty, so I don't really know, but things like that, and decorate it. If you didn't want to draw, you could trace things, put them in the spaces. You can do some sort of fancy background with pencils or pastels or paint or whatever you want. You know, there are lots of opportunities to fill that space, ideas, but you know, some of us, me included, are not that artistic, and so filling a large space is quite daunting. But for me, I don't mind leaving it blank, letting it just breathe or not have anything behind it. It depends on the picture, whether I think it really needs a background or not. And you'll find, I'm sure, as I work my way through the book, some of my pictures will have them and a lot of them won't. You know, a page like this, I would never dream of trying to put a background on. Some people might put a jolly like a square round. I can make it look like a shelf, or stones behind, or I don't know. I can see that being something that people might do, but for me, no, I'm just quite happy colouring each little cute circle and just going with that. Now, I don't know what colour anemones are, so I've got myself into a bit of a fix. I think, if memory serves, which isn't the most reliable, that there is a sort of bluey purple, really pale, like a lavendery lilac-y colour, and then a deep purple one, I think. But I'm gonna should I look them up? I can't. Can I spell anemone? Can you just spell anemone? Anemone. There it is. Apparently it's a film plant. There we go. I've got lilac-y purple, pink. I can't show you the images, you'll see my phone. Yes, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Right, there's a slightly deeper purple. I think I might use the violet though. It's not really, really dark. So I'm going to use the violet. And then there is a pink, so we'll use that. So that's good. I got that. There's also white, which, of course, you might want to do. I've got a feeling now that the centres are black and the outside's white. I just saw them. Let me look. I've got to unlock my phone. Yeah. The centres are black and the outsides are white. Oh dear. Never mindy. It's... I couldn't have got that effect if I'd done it the other way around, could I? So, hey ho. I could fiddle with it and make it look more like, shall I, or should I just leave it? Because I could put some black in the centre here and then put a bit of white pen around, because there's only a thin bit of white. Or I could just leave it with my error. I think I'm just going to leave it. Oh, what an itchy eye. Oh, I was out in town this morning, bought my Christmas cards. I got some charity ones, which was nice. I've already given out some of my Christmas cards, can you believe it? And because I got my nieces and nephews, my sister, my parents, an Advent card where you have a little window to open each day through December. And I didn't know if I'd be seeing them again, and before it got to December, and so I wanted to give them out early, and they're heavy to post, so it just made sense that when I saw them back in October, I gave them, and they didn't open them, they just put them away, so that was up to them really. So hopefully they'll like those. I picked some I bought them online actually, and picked some in ones that I thought they'd like, so we'll see. hopefully. I mean, I won't know, will I? But there we go, that was those. But yes, I needed cards to send to, you know, everybody else, so got those today. Got a few different designs. I picked a charity, the local hospital that I wanted to support, so that was nice. So I got some from there, and I went to the hospital to buy them, which was a bit weird. But you know, that's okay. Now this one, now the pink is sort of pinky purple. I think the light magenta is going to be the nearest, because although it's a bit lighter than I think they are, the others are a bit too dark, so it'll do, I think. Yeah, so that was good. So I got those. I tried on some shoes and they felt like they were going to rip my heels to shreds, so I didn't buy them. You know how sometimes you get, they were barefoot shoes as well, so they were being sort of, oh, they're really comfortable, they're really soft leather, they're all flexible and stuff, and part of them was quite comfortable, like actually feeling my foot through the floor and all that, walking, that stuff, that was fine. But the fact that they had a really hard bit on the back which was digging into my foot, that wasn't very pleasant. So I decided, I didn't even ask how much they were, but I thought they were going to be really expensive, and I thought, I don't want to buy a really expensive pair of shoes that's just going to hurt my feet. It just seems a bit pointless, doesn't it? I've got shoes that hurt my feet already. Wear them if I want to hurt my feet. I don't need to buy extra ones to do that. So no, but anyway, it was fun. We had a little look around the shop. Husband drove me into town actually and came with me. He wanted to buy some something from that shop as well. I'm trying to decide what colour to do the leaves. I want them quite dark. I'm going to try this colour. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try the chromium green opaque. It's not like I didn't want a sort of more pine green or cobalt green, deep cobalt green, that sort of really bluey greens, but I didn't want something, I wanted something dark, so we'll see how this works. Yeah, and we did the big food shop, although it's only Friday. I said, we're out in the car and I need some things, so let's just do it. So we just did it a bit early, and then tomorrow I can concentrate on the cleaning. Yay! I was thinking about doing the cleaning today, but I haven't. Well, I was out, so I couldn't. So yeah, anyway, we'll see. I might have time to do it later or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, as long as I get some videos done, then I'll be happy. As I've got a bit behind, not because I haven't been recording or anything, but because I've been putting out extra videos because of this new book. So I've been having to do a few extras, which has been great fun. But I need to keep on top of it, you know, which is good. It gives me a good excuse. I've got to go and colour. I've got to go and make a video. What a shame. But I hope you're enjoying Johanna's new book. As I said, you know, there's been mixed feelings, and I can understand that. There was always going to be with everything. But yeah, I don't agree necessarily with the people who are saying it's a bit too samey, in the sense that I don't think it's any less samey than any of Johanna's other work, in that her style evolves, but some things are similar, and I think that's been the same through every book. So I mean, I realised when she did Ivy there was quite a lot of different things, because we had Ivy and we had more animals and castly things, but everything else, all the other books, you know, we've always had flowers and leaves and things like that anyway. And for a flower themed book, that is what I would expect. But I don't know if I'm just really biased, but I think I am, because there are books of Johanna's. I'm using the dark sepia to put some shadows just around these leaves a little bit. There is a book of Johanna's that I would put as the one that I like the least, that I haven't bought a second copy of. and it's the only one I haven't got two of, apart from this one, which I haven't got a second copy of. It's a bit early days for that. But Rooms of Wonder for me was not my favourite because it was too detailed, and I wasn't so excited by colouring some of those pages. But all the little bits and pieces, sometimes I'm in the mood for a page with lots of little bits and pieces, that's fine, but not always, and there was too much of it in that book for my liking. So, you know, I do have one for me that isn't such a favourite, and I know some people whose that is their favourite book, so, you know, we're all different. But I do think that Johanna's, almost her style is floral, you know, that's her thing. So why wouldn't we expect it to have a lot of floral? She also enjoys having space around things and not having, you know, having white space without backgrounds. I do think there are some images where they could have been made a little bit bigger, so they fitted the space. I don't know if I can find it, but like this kingfisher, he could be a bit bigger, and then he could fit on the whole page. Or there was an island one. Oh, and this critter, this one. And yeah, where was the island one? There's like a floating island as well. And I thought it could, if it was a little bit bigger, then it would address that problem that people have. Now, if you want to make these look like anemones rather than backwards anemones, with the centre of your flower, get your black pencil, make it very dark around that edge, and then colour it lighter towards the middle. Okay, and then around the very edge of this bit that is now coloured black, use a white pen and do a couple of thick stripes around with the white. I am actually going to use a white pen, but I'm going to use my, white pen to fill in this space because the pencil didn't really achieve what I'd hoped. I've got hiccups, I'm so sorry, I've just had a drink. Well, I've just had lunch actually. I had a really late lunch today because we're unpacking all the shopping. It's exciting, isn't it? Exciting life we lead. So here is this one. Just trying to hold it so it's not shadowy. There we go. So 3 flowers. I quite like them all looking quite different, and it's quite plain. It's almost a greyish tone to the whole thing, really, which I find quite interesting and different. It's muted, perhaps that's a better description than greyish, but there we go. If you don't like that and you want your leaves to have more warmth, you could put some yellow on top of them. The cadmium yellow lemon or the light yellow glaze would work quite well for that, just to brighten them. Or you could just brighten them with the light green, something like that. But I'm liking that tone, that vibe, but you know, as I say, it's not necessarily going to be for everyone. Okay, well, that is me done. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.